Yo, YouTube, what's crack-a-lack-a-jack-a smacking? It's Wolfman for video. We got some Park gameplay right here because we're gonna be reviewing NBA 2K14's next gen, the Park game mode. And the Park is basically a blacktop, but you know, you're in a park, and it can have up to 100 my players, and there's 6 courts, 1 5 versus 5 full court in the middle, 2 2 versus 2 half courts, and 4 3 versus 3 full courts. But those courts are smaller than the full court one in the middle, as you can see. Now this is very similar to blacktop. Only thing is there are more fouls called, and you know, you play the 21 still. It's win by 2, and it feels like, it doesn't feel like blacktop entirely. It feels like a little bit better than blacktop, but you know, it still feels a little bit arcadey, just a little bit. It doesn't feel like regular gameplay, like quick match team up or quick match ranked or anything like that. So yeah, it still kind of feels a little bit arcadey, but I'm not sure if 2K will ever get it, you know, feeling like a regular game. But anyways, the good thing about the Park, you know, it's all my players, so you could wear a variety of clothing. You could the only thing you can't do is you can't wear accessories like shooting sleeves. You can't wear any, you know, like right now I have on I think wristbands, and those are the only things you can wear. You can't wear any headbands. You can't wear, you know, your sleeves. You can't wear your knee pads. You can't wear any accessories that you would regularly wear in your game. You could still wear glasses and, you know, your goggles. And as you can see right here, I have on my cowboy hat, which is a pretty neat feature. And another great thing about the Park that I really like are the Park upgrades, and these are basically found in the My Career menu. On the Park, it's easy to find. It basically, you know, gives you a variety of animations that you'll only be able to do in the Park and not in a regular game. And these are just some fun animations, like for example the signature introduction. You can have your own animation for that. You could have your own, you know, set of dribble move animations, which are really fun to pull off. You see me do some of those dribble move animations in real games in My Career. And you know, there's a couple of nice sweet dunks that you can only do in the Park that are really great and fancy. And you know, all those animations are cool, and they're nice little fun things that add to the game of the Park. Now, you know, like I said before, it still doesn't feel like a regular game. It still feels a little bit arcadey, and you know, alley-oops do not always work in the Park. As you can see right now, I'm playing a match where we're throwing a lot of alley-oops, but you know, sometimes alley-oops don't really work. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense of why, you know, some passes get deflected, of why some people are able to get some easy steals. And that's another problem that's always been happening in, you know, Park blacktop type game modes, is that people are able to get a lot of steals and people just spam the square button, you know, people trying to reach in. And you know, after a while it kind of gets annoying, and you know, it's like, you know, 2K, you have to do something about that, because some people will just reach all game and you'll get a foul called, but I mean, they can still keep doing it, and eventually they're gonna get that steal. Even though some people have, like me, 90 ball security, and we're still getting it stripped. You know, look at this nice alley-oop right there. But you know, the Park has communication, as like all the games. You can see the mic symbol right next to their name. But you know, like every 2K game, you still can't mute people, and that's still a big feature that 2K is leaving out, the ability to mute people. Every game you can mute a person, but in this game, still you can't mute people. Maybe someone has their mic on too loud, maybe someone's just talking too much, maybe you don't want to hear their voice. And the thing with the mic in the Park is that you could hear the other team. So one match I was playing, we were trying to throw all alley-oops, and they actually heard us, you know, saying that we were gonna throw alley-oops, so they were stopping us from throwing the alley-oops. And you know, that's some BS, because we're trying to plan and strategize, and how can you plan and strategize on the mic without, you know, the other team hearing you? It's just impossible. But you know, other than that, the Park, it's not that bad of a game mode. But you know, there's still some things that make the Park just really terrible if you think about it. And one of these things is the waiting. and we all know about that waiting. If you've played on the park before, you know you have to wait to play in the game, and it's just so crazy because think about this. There's 6 courts, right? 7 courts, I believe, actually. So there's like 7 courts, and all the courts are full. And matter of fact, most of the time the 5 versus 5 court is not really full, but people just don't like playing the 5 versus 5 because the court's too small and it's just too chaotic. But anyways, waiting has to be the worst part of this game mode. I mean, you wait for games and you wait and you wait and you wait, and sometimes you can even wait up to 30 minutes. I think that's the longest time I waited. And then even if you wait, sometimes the court glitches and then you can't play, or sometimes you wait and then you wait and you're ready to play and then you need other people to start and then no one joins. It's just ridiculous, man. So you're waiting all that time just to not play, and then you end up having to go wait at another court, which is just nonsense. I mean, all this waiting is ridiculous. I mean, you could wait for like 20 minutes. Most of my time is spent waiting, and people don't have time to wait, especially if they lose. That's why people don't want to lose. People want to win, you know. But if you lose, you're being punished for waiting times, and that's just BS, man. Another thing with the park is that you can see everyone's overalls. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a bad thing because some people could strategize and, you know, put all the beast players on one team, and then you got all the scrubs on another team, so those are easy wins right there. That's easy cheese too. But another bad thing about the park is the way the friends and, you know, joining your friends is set up. Now, before the patch, you weren't able to join your friends. Sometimes you got put into another match and all that nonsense, and, you know, you couldn't play with them. But even though joining your friends works now, it's still too unorganized because you don't get like the full effects of playing with your friends. If you were to play in the park with your friends, I should be able to automatically play with them or join their, you know, their court. But in the park, you know, you have to find them, and, you know, everybody looks the same. There's no way to distinguish between who a regular person on the park is and a friend. So you could be on the park and you can't find your friend, and that's your problem. And then, you know, then you have to join the same court as your friend, and then some people might take their spots, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. But another thing is that, you know, there are no crews for next gen. It's kind of weird that there are no crews because there was crews in current gen, and how could you leave out crews for next gen? That makes no sense. They're trying to bring back a mode that was the most popular mode, the most requested mode back in the 2K, and they don't bring it on the next gen console where we have much more space on the disc, much more, you know, graphics, much more possibilities, and they don't bring it back. There's not that much lag in the park, but, you know, there's still a lot of glitches. People still show the 25 overall rating, which I don't know how to fix that. And the settings, like I said before, the settings do not save. You're forced to use the pro stick in the park, and that's one of my most annoyingest things ever, because I just hate using the pro stick, but I'm forced to use it in the park. And there's no shot feedback in the park, so whenever you take a shot, there's not going to be any shot feedback, so you don't know if you're shooting well or you're shooting bad or too early or whatever. But anyways, the park is a good idea. It's a good idea, you know. It's an okay mode in this game, but it could be improved on in the future. So I'm gonna give the park a 4 out of 10, only because of the problems and all the waiting and all that nonsense. So hopefully 2K can learn its steps, because this could be a great mode.